Hey honeys, hey darlings. I hope you enjoyed my last video. Well, not really enjoy it because it wasn't such a nice video. It was very sad, it was very tense, it was very emotional. So this is actually a continuation of that video. If you haven't seen it, please do go see it so at least you do know what I spoke about previously. Before I continue, welcome to my channel, Inosfela here. Thank you guys for watching all the time. I really appreciate it. It means so much. So as I've said, it's a continuation of my video. So this is part 2, but a different topic from the topic that I discussed in the previous video. So basically now I would just like to continue about to have a conversation about having sex while young and in fact getting introduced to having sex while you're still a virgin, still innocent, knowing nothing. Then now as a young girl, you meet this older person who's already fully experienced. They know what's happening, they know what sex is. I mean, that's why they when they dating, then there must be sex, because that's what most people believe, that when we are in a relationship, then it means that we should have sex. But also forgetting that sex comes with a lot of things. It comes with a lot of emotions. It comes with a lot of attachments. I know that some people are able to have these able to do friends with benefits. You just met a guy or a girl, you have sex, and that's it. No attachments, nothing. But it's not the same with everyone. So I'm going to go back to my experience, what I experienced. So during that thing, dating, starting to date and being with an older person, like I mentioned on my previous video, I got introduced to sex as a young girl, where I mentioned that me being a girl was taken away from me. Just to clarify that, I meant that I was an innocent girl. I was an innocent girl. I didn't know anything about dating. I didn't know anything about sex. I didn't know what sex meant, until that was taken away from me by being introduced to things that actually takes so much away from you, takes so much away from your soul. It affecting you so much, affecting your emotions, your mentality. So me, emphasizing that being a girl was taken away from me. That's basically what I meant. Being a girl, being a young girl, was taken away from me. I don't really want to use the word child, because my childhood was not taken away from me, but being an innocent girl was taken away from me. I hope I was able to clarify that and you guys do understand. Okay, so regarding sex, so here's my story. Yeah. So I got introduced to sex during the dating part and everything, so on and so on. And what I realized was that I actually normalized having sex. I normalized having sex with the belief that if you meet someone and you get into a relationship, that automatically means that you have to have sex. To me, at that time, was not me sharing my body with another person or with a person that I don't really know much about. To me, it was just, okay, having sex, that's what needs to happen because we are in a relationship. So I believe that when you start a relationship, then it means that there must be sexual intercourse. And that's what I did. That's what happened with almost every guy that I dated. So when we would date, I would have sex with them. And at that time, I didn't really understand what sex meant. I didn't understand what sex meant. So hence, I would have sex, but there was no enjoyment. I did not enjoy any moment. I did not. And I used to think that I hated sex. I didn't like sex until I realized that it's not that I did not like sex, but it was because I did not understand what sex meant. And at that time, it meant nothing to me. I thought it meant something because I didn't have that knowledge. I did not have that good experience when it comes to sexual intercourse. I mean, I had sex with people that claimed to love me, but they did not really love me. So what happened was, now I'm going into my story. Sorry, I just want to be comfortable. Need to sit comfortably, and I'm now comfortable. All right, so this is what happened, guys. I'm gonna go back to my previous video. Thing is, I do not want to relive my past, but sharing it is very important, and especially sharing it with the people that I would love to help someone. I would love to change people's perspective. So I'm trying by all means not to relive my my past, but obviously when talking about it, those emotions, everything that I went through will come back. But it's part of it. It's part of talking about your past. That's what happens, So even after I had left my high school, I continued meeting older men. And by older, please don't get me wrong. When I'm saying older, I'm actually looking at my age then, the age that I was, my age then, and looking at the guys that I was dating. So even if they were 5 years older, even though, I mean, someone who's 5 years older, it's not bad at all. But looking at my age at that time, then someone who was 5 years older, it was terrible. It was really bad. It was really bad. So when I keep referring to older people, you all shouldn't think that I'm talking about someone who was even older than my dad. I'm not going to lie. I've been in a relationship with a man, or with men that were like my dad's age or maybe slightly younger. It was a bit weird at first, but as it becomes normal, then it becomes okay. You don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, there's a lot of people who get married to people who are way older than their dads, who are the dad's age, who are old enough to be their grandparents. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Do not get me wrong. I mean, you love who you love. You love who you love. You fall in love with whoever you fall in love with. It doesn't matter the race. It doesn't matter the age. But what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to touch on, and to actually, to talk more about, is being in those kind of relationships while you are still very young, while you still have no knowledge of what's going on. Okay. So yes, as I was saying, I would meet a guy, and with what I believed, with my belief, I thought that being in a relationship, as soon as you both agree that, okay, we're going to start a relationship, then it automatically meant that we are going to have sex. And that actually affects you as a person. In case you are not aware, with me, my story is that I got affected by this sexual intercourse, because remember, you're exchanging yourself with another person. You are sharing your body with another person. We don't even know where the person has been. We don't know what the person carry with them. And because now we are coming together, we are sharing, and we are not seeing it in that way. I was not even looking at it in that way, So what I would do would just to come together with a person, and that's it. It did not mean anything until at a later stage when I got affected, because it now became a habit. It became a habit. It was like I could not live without doing so. I thought that, okay, for me to show that I love someone, or not really, not even love, but I want to be with someone, then that needed to happen. I also believe that for me to know that someone actually wants me or someone loves me, then we needed to have sex. If someone did not want to have sex with me or did not even initiate it, I would always ask myself, what's happening here? Because I remember there was a time I actually met this wonderful guy. He was older as well. He was amazing, amazing. All right, he was amazing. I remember we spent the night, all we did was cuddle. He did not ask for anything from me. He did not want more. All we did was cuddle, kiss, and that's it. And I started questioning myself, what is it? What is there something wrong with this guy? Or is there something wrong with me? Am I not that attractive? So do you understand that having such beliefs because of the things that you've been exposed to at a young age, you start questioning yourself unnecessarily. You start believing things that are not even real. You start believing things that are honestly not real, just because of what you were exposed to then, because of what you were made to believe as a young girl. So guys, we really, really need to be careful of the things that we do. Sex can also make you become or start thinking like someone who's not normal. Because can you imagine always thinking that, okay, for someone to show me that they really love me, then it means that we need to have sex. And like I said, when that was happening, I was not really interested in sex. I did not enjoy it, not even one bit. Because to me, it was just someone coming on top of me or me going on top of them or whatever the case may be, being naked and this and that. But I did not enjoy it at all, to a point where I remember there was a time I actually, this is so funny. I actually went to my doctor then to ask if this was normal, because I felt like there was something wrong with me. I actually said, you know what? I honestly believe that there's something wrong with me. Something is not right. And he asked why. I explained that I don't like sex. And my boyfriend at that time thought I was cheating. I was like, my partner thinks that I'm cheating because I do not like sex. I hate sex. I hate sex. It took me such a long time to actually start to enjoy sex, or to understand what being sexually being in a sexual relationship meant. It took me such a long time to understand that. So as a young child, it becomes so difficult to understand these kind of things. That's why just an example or a scenario. There's a teenage who's pregnant, and this teenage girl claims to love the boy, or the teenage boy claims to love the girl. Ask what it is exactly that they love about their partners, and ask what it is that they get from having sex with this person. See what response you're going to get. Then their response will actually make you understand that at their age, they know nothing about sex. They know nothing about love. It's just something that has been normalized. It's just something that we all know that happens. We have sex because there's sex, and we fall pregnant because we are not even trained. We are not even educated when it comes to this. So we're just doing it because we do it, because everyone does it. So being sexually active, it doesn't matter how it started, but it's more dangerous if it started how it started with me. Being in a relationship with a wrong person, and this person, they actually end up forcing themselves on you, which is called rape. They end up forcing themselves on you, and you are always forced to do something which you do not like, then can you just imagine what's going to happen moving forward? Because every time something happens, the only thing that you think of is what happened previously. The only flashbacks that you get is what happened previously. So you don't even see anything good coming out of it. You won't even find any enjoyment from it because of how you were introduced to it. So that's what having sex did to me. It wasn't necessarily because I had sex with older men, but even if it was a younger man and that young man did those things to me, the results would have still been the same. But the reason why I'm emphasizing more on older men, dating older men, is because of the experience that they already have compared to the experience that you have as a young person. So yes, this is my story. Like I said, I did mention that I will be sharing some of my stories. So this is basically what I will be doing. I don't know for how long, but I'm just going to share bits and pieces of my stories, just like I did with this one. I don't really have to go too deep into it or now start being emotional, because I realized that with my first video, I got really deep into it and it made me so... It wasn't nice. It wasn't something great to actually go back to relive that moment. It was not something nice at all. So I just, I told myself that I didn't want to go back to the state that I was in when I made that video. So in order for me to not to go to, not to find myself in that state that I was in, I think this is much better. It's really much better sharing my story in this way. It actually makes everything much better. It also helps me emotionally. It helps me mentally. So, I'm able to get my mentality back instead of messing it up again, because I do not want to go back to that state that I was in. I honestly don't want to. I don't want to now sit down and start thinking of everything that happened back then. And no. So this is how I'm going to be sharing my videos. It might be different from this one, but it's going to be a bit similar. But don't expect to find something as, more like the previous one. That was so formal. That was so deep. It was so tense. It was so sad. It was so sad. So I'm trying to avoid making such videos. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, or I hope you will enjoy the video. I honestly hope that you will enjoy the video and you're going to learn something. Please do not forget to like, to comment, to subscribe. I love you guys so much. And this is where my video ends. Bye, darlings.